Looking for the money, looking for it all, searching for the happiness. No, I love them all. Try to understand me, have yourself a ball. Going to find the good things, help me find them all. Gonna say the same things, gonna tell the same old stories, gonna give you the same old jive I used to get them all. Gonna say the same things, gonna tell the same old stories, gonna give you the same old jive I used to get them all. You got to believe me,
You got to believe me.
you believe it all.
Every single word is saying true.
I got to find the happiness,
I got to find the happiness.
gonna have ourselves a ball. Come on.
Hi everybody, it's Rick Davis from the Davis Brothers Garage Band again, and today is a great day because we have Skip Truman here with us today. Hi Skip.
Rick.
And everybody through the years, since the beginning of the band, when Skip was with us, everybody through the years after the band broke up would say, "Where's Skip?" Because I've remained in the Upper Valley, in the Windsor, Brownsville, Ascutney area, and Skip moved on to. What happened in 1982 or in 81? You left the band.
I did. I think it was 81, early 81 possibly. But I did. I headed off to Marblehead, Massachusetts, and worked actually in a couple of different, what I would consider to be unlikely jobs. However, I did continue with music, just wedding bands, very light.
Oh, you did play.
Yeah, just for a short period of time, for maybe about a year or so. But I was working as a sales rep for hood sail makers in Marblehead, so I got to do some sailing, got to make some sales. You wore many hats in a small company like that.
Yeah.
And for the most part was just sort of not floundering, but just trying to decide upon what I wanted to do when I grew up. So from there,
I'm still have that problem.
and as we continue to work on it.
Yeah.
From there, oh, sorry, the nose just ran. But I caught up before it got too far here. Edit. Got married in 1984, and also started working for Lotus Development at that time. Lotus Development had a software application, a spreadsheet application, which at the time was paramount in the industry.
Cutting edge.
Cutting edge, yeah, cutting edge. And it just grew. And I grew along with the company, it at the time felt like the right thing to do. Family coming along, my son came along in 1987, and Lotus had really started to just take off, and had just stepped away, just moved away from music, and felt that this is what I needed to do at the time. So I stuck with that, did a lot of different things at Lotus, was with the technical support organization, was in sales, was in corporate customer relations. Let's see, well, I ended my career at Lotus in 1995 because IBM bought Lotus. So I then became an IBM employee. And as an IBM employee, I became a relationship manager. It's a liaison between IBM and corporate enterprise accounts, large companies. And again, it was more or less a post-sale support position. Still not playing any music, listening to a lot of music, all the time missing it very much. And of course, reminiscing and listening to our album and just various things that friends have done along the way. And I've just, been in the corporate environment. It became a way of life for me. and then I got a phone call from you.
Well, let's go back to the old days in the '60s with Hanover High School. You are a Hanover native,
Yeah.
and your dad was Ralph Truman,
Yes.
who's a well-known jazz musician for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knew your dad, and
Yeah, I'm proud
was
to
he
say.
in jazz trios, or did he play all kinds of different bands, or
He for the most part was jazz trios.
his own band?
His own band for a lot of years that I knew of. Previous to my coming onto this earth, I'm sure that he was with a number of different types of bands, but for the most part, jazz.
But his heart was in playing jazz.
Yeah.
And the upright bass.
Yes, yeah.
Did he
and-
play
and
piano
guitar.
or horns or anything?
He could play piano, but he played bass and guitar.
He played guitar.
He played guitar as well. Yeah, yeah, and very well at both.
Do you have any
And
recordings of him?
I do. I have a closet full.
Great.
All reel to reel.
Reel to reels.
Yeah.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
we'll have to restore those
Yeah, yeah.
sometime if
Yeah.
you want.
And we have some vinyl. He made a number of 78s.
Really? That's great.
Yeah, yeah. it's great.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm very, very proud to be associated with that man. He's a
Yeah.
wonderful man.
Yeah. So you, in high school, what was your first band in high school, in Hanover High School?
The Stingrays.
The Stingrays. And who was in the band? Do you remember?
Well, I was actually in junior high when the Stingrays started.
They recruited you, the older guys.
The older guy.
Yeah.
Dave Norris was on guitar. Ken Aldrich, who's still local, on keyboards. He's wonderful because he made a Hammond organ out of a vacuum cleaner, a pipe organ keyboard, and devised or created his own bevel, the rotating Hammond sound.
Right.
He built it, and it sounded wonderful.
And it worked.
It worked.
I wonder if he still has it.
Oh, I doubt very much that he
Oh, that's great.
But we have pictures.
You have pictures,
Yeah, or at least I have pictures. I'm not
promo
sure if he
pictures
kept
of the
them.
band.
Yes,
And what did you played drums?
I played drums. Yeah, and sang.
And sang.
Mm-hmm.
And you get recordings of that?
I'm sure I do somewhere. Probably
We've gotta dig
in the
those
attic
up.
at my mom's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go on a mission and get those all together. So when you played drums, did you start when you were like 10 years old or something? Do you remember when you started playing drums?
9. Yeah.
9 years old. Right, I didn't know that. So-
Yeah. Yeah. And my first professional gig was at 9.
And what was your first gig?
We played, the Stingrays played at I think it was a Dartmouth reunion. I do remember it was outside in a tent, packed crowd, and live music, of course, at that time was just great, you know.
Yeah.
Dartmouth parties, everyone was out and just having a great time, and so did we. We had a great time.
And you were 9 years old
I was 9,
playing the drums.
yeah.
And so the other guys were how old? 13 and 14, or?
Yeah, yeah. I think Dave Norris was probably the oldest, and because he was driving, so he must have been 16.
So that was how did that first gig go?
I thought it went great. It was wonderful, and I got $25.
You got $25.
I got $25.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. And so how long was the Stingrays together?
The Stingrays, I think, went for, and Ken will correct me on this, I'm sure, but I think it went for like 3 years.
And you played all